Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Amia. In this episode, we're going to look at Security Fundamentals, AWS IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. It allows you to manage who can access which AWS services and resources securely. Who can access the resources is authentication. Which resources they can access is authorization. So IAM allows you to manage authentication and authorization in AWS. With IAM you can create and manage AWS users and groups, and use permissions to allow or deny their access to AWS resources. The permissions are usually called IAM policies. The IAM users, groups, or roles you have created are AWS global entities. They exist in all regions after being created. There is no additional charge to use IAM. You only pay for other AWS services when you use them with IAM. There are a few IAM terminologies you will come across very often. Users are IAM users you created for your employees and colleagues. They can be individual developers, testers or managers, who can log into AWS console with username and password, or access AWS SDK, CLI, API with access key and secret key. Users cannot be shared. You should never share your IAM credentials, such as username and password, with another person. Please remember, root user is not an IAM user. The root user is created when you create an AWS account. There is one root user. AWS recommends you always use IAM users to access AWS resources. The group is a collection of users with a set of permissions. For instance, you have a development group with access to your AWS development resources, or the testing group has access to testing databases. Each group can have multiple users and one user can join multiple groups. For example, a user can be in both development and testing groups. Roles are IAM identity you can create with specific permissions and assign to AWS resources. So other AWS services or users can assume the role to access those resources. Roles are similar to users, except they don't come with long-term credentials. Instead, they give you temporary credentials for your role session. Policies are the documents to define permissions that allow or deny access to certain AWS resources. You can attach them with users, groups, or roles. They are in JSON format. There is a list of AWS predefined IAM policies. You can create your own policies. Remember, for security best practices, AWS recommends you to create a group and attach IAM policies to the group, instead of giving permissions to the user directly. IAM is a centralized place to manage your users, groups, and roles. It provides fine-grained control over shared access via permissions policies. So when you hire a new developer to work on databases, you can add the user to the group with permissions to those databases only. After the project finished, you can remove the user from the group. IAM allows users to access the AWS console with username and password, and allows them to access AWS resources via SDK, CLI, API with access key ID and secret access key. You have security control over this access. For instance, you can apply strong password policy, password rotation, multi-factor authentication on your IAM users. IAM can provide identity federation to allow users to log in with Google account, Facebook, or Active Directory. You can grant temporary access with security token to users or mobile apps with IAM. For example, with the security token, users or apps can temporarily access files stored in S3, without username and password. In this episode, we've learned the basic concept of IAM users, groups, roles, and policies. You should never share your IAM credentials with anyone. These credentials include your username, password, access key ID, and secret access key. You should always use IAM users to access AWS resources instead of the root user. There are different ways to enable strong security for your AWS, such as MFA, strong password policy, and password rotation. Instead of assign permissions to the user directly, AWS recommends you to add users to the group and attach IAM policies to the group. Always follow the least privilege principle, only assign the least permissions required for certain tasks. Okay, that's all for AWS IAM. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. If you liked the video, please help us and hit the like button. If you want to watch more tutorials, please subscribe to the Cloudemy TV channel. Make sure to turn on the notification and stay tuned. At Cloudemy, we're passionate about cloud and AI technology. Please share your feedback and thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to watch. Happy watching and happy learning.